We have come thousands of miles, and now we are about to see what some believe to be the family of Joseph arriving in Egypt. The scene in front of us indicates a migration of Semitic people into Egypt. Women, children, animals and men walking with weapons as the Bible describes. These Semitic people are clearly different from the depictions of Egyptians all around them. These depictions date to the time of Joseph, and those characterized are wearing multicoloured coats. The Bible says that when Joseph invited his family to live in Egypt, that he gave them all new clothes. Could it be that the very thing that had divided them when Joseph was young, the multicoloured coat, was now a symbol of a gift that was bringing them back together?